This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans.
Well, it's going out.
Woo! Hello, welcome to the club. I'm your host Mars. This is the Upper 90 Club Roundtable Podcast, where tonight it's four friends discuss the Columbus Crew. Haas is out tonight because he got his wisdom teeth out. Tip of the wisdom teeth. I have more to say about that in a minute. Just real quick on this episode, we're going to do a double review,
two of them,
double preview, and then we're going to read some internet. This past week we had the Campeones Cup final, where we came in second place in that tournament, and the DC game that we played away at Audi Field on Saturday, and then we look ahead to the home game against Miami.
Very excited.
I will be in attendance. I'm very excited.
Oh yeah, we all are.
Feeling like Jesse Spano, post caffeine pills energy. And then Saturday we play.
Didn't she feel like real bad after those?
Oh, but for a while she was so excited. She got scared later, but we've got Philly on Saturday. So we will do our predictions for that. We've got 4 games left. For now, we'll discuss 2 of them.
2 of them?
Thank you. You're welcome. With me in the club are Ben, Mort, and Trey. Say it, guys.
Hello.
Tip of the head.
Good evening, everyone.
So as we publish, we're recording on Sunday. We publish on Monday, September 30th.
Whoa.
Which, if you didn't know, is the end of the third quarter of the year.
We got a lot to talk about. We're still
we've made financials in.
Been made $0 to date.
Get your expense reports in, and it's also, as I learned, it's international. Or maybe just national. Many people are saying international podcast day. So, did you know that was a thing?
Did not.
No. Wasn't last week like International Love Your Son Day and Love Your Daughter Day?
Yeah, they put them back to back.
It was on Sunday.
I didn't know that, so I didn't love them those days. And I feel terrible about it. I told him about it before I put him to bed tonight. I was like,
yeah.
I just
I saw the section of greeting cards for that, so that's how I knew that.
God, it's getting so big.
I just see my wife posting stuff. That's the only reason I know. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I should like this probably.
Whoa. Okay.
National Podcasting Day isn't a cash grab. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, I don't know.
So you can vote.
What I wanted to ask you guys was what. So for the listeners, because they're listening to a podcast, I wanted to get a quick recommendation for other podcasts that you like, that you listen to, so that on this podcast day, after you're done wading through whatever this is, and there is a fun clip at the end, always. So stick around.
We'll skip forward.
Yeah, just skip forward.
Girlfriend's the dog. What is that? I didn't clip that. A dog named Girlfriend. Is that right?
I mean, I just, for the listeners, I had the best joke of the year last week, and it did not
Was
make
that
the clip.
the joke?
No. It
Nope.
wasn't even.
That was the best of the year.
And it didn't make the clip. So
I know.
we'll have to do a Patreon or something just for that joke. But
where you don't pay us, and I'll just email it to you.
Okay, so let's start with Ben.
Oh wow. You told us to do this, and I completely forgot. I will say there was one Haas told me about that we have listened to, and that is what we call Evergreen. And I speak on behalf of Haas and myself, and I say, listen to Mike and Tom Eat Snacks. This is Michael Ian Black and Tom Cavanaugh eating and rating snacks. And it is
That's great.
So funny. If you're into like Michael Ian Black stuff, like Wet Hot American
snacks.
Summer, The State, like any of that stuff. And it's like them two just, it's so funny. It's totally worth it.
And follow. Got it.
Yeah, it's good. They don't post anymore, but you can go back and listen to them. And it's pretty funny. It got me way into caramel bugles.
Whoa.
I know. You think they're gross, but I got them and I was like, oh boy.
Salty salt.
Salty sweet, baby.
All right. And you also mentioned the David Cross podcast before we got started.
Yes. We were talking about that. That's it's called like The Senses or something like that. Just look up David Cross. It's pretty funny. I mean, if you like David Cross, he just interviews people. The people he knows are really good. The people he doesn't know, those kind of go flat. And another special shout out to Wizard and the Bruiser. That's like a nerd podcast I really like.
All right, Mort, what about you?
So I don't know where you guys get all the time to listen to podcasts, because I guess it's because I work from home most of the time, so I don't really drive anywhere.
Yeah, driving.
Yeah, driving or running, right? But I looking through my stuff, and it's mostly just all soccer, ESPN FC, Gab and Jules, whatever else. I just absorb soccer, and I'm gonna do the one that you guys introduced me to, the Total Soccer Show, because they have a really nice mix of different shows. So they talk about overseas stuff, and then they have an episode just dedicated to MLS stuff. So you kind of get the deep dive into all these different leagues and parts of soccer, which I think is great. And they're relatively short, light tone, and funny at times.
Yeah. And we actually had Ryan Bailey from that podcast on our show to talk about Wimbledon on one of our older episodes.
Yeah.
Those guys are cool.
Dudes.
Yeah. I forgot he was with that show.
He kind of is.
That was a good one. We'll have to repost that on an off week or something.
Oh yeah.
Or on the Patreon. Sign up now. Trey. It goes great with the girlfriend's the dog joke.
Oh man. What a joke.
Non-soccer related, I usually go to stuff you should know. It's just a podcast about everything.
Yeah.
And it's not done in a pretentious kind of like you should know this way. It's more just like they sit down and talk for an hour and explain something and like deep dive into it. And they've got like 1,300 episodes or something stupid.
Those are fun because you told me about that, and you can like go through and pick and choose. Like it's like, oh, quilting, don't care about that, but then you can go to one like Atom Bomb, and I'm like, oh, sweet. Tell me.
Everything.
Tell me about the Atom Bomb.
Okay. I picked the Cryptid Factor. I know I've talked to you guys about this one. It's Reese Darby or Murray Hewitt from Flight of the Conchords, and like a couple of his New Zealand dudes investigating cryptid creatures, and they just cryptids? read the news of the cryptid world on a periodic basis. Sometimes they'll go every week. Sometimes they'll not post an episode for 6 months. But it's fun, and they have it's a fun show.
Dude, New Zealand accent rips.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, I love those guys.
Yeah.
And
shout out Dunks.
And then I heard an episode recently. There's a show called 20,000 Hertz. It's like audio geeks, and they did a whole thing on Hans Zimmer and how he like makes movie scores. Just like
that would be
the total
awesome.
mechanics of like how many thousands of sounds they like sample and then put into a keyboard that he like, I don't know, it's crazy. It's like 30, 45 minutes or so, but that was awesome. Anyway, okay, let's talk about the Columbus Crew. We'll start with our long-trodden journey through the Campeones Cup that started and ended on Wednesday night. Trey, why don't you take us through it?
Hey, what happened?
Facts that could save your life.
All right, September 25th, 2024, in the friendly confines of Lower.com in front of a reported 20,011. The Columbus Crew faced off against Club America, the Campeone de Campeones de D.C.ampeones. Beautifully comfortable 72 degrees at kick on the banks of the Olentangy. The starting lineup for the Crew was Schulte in goal, Morera, Camacho, and Amundsen in the back, Farsi, Zawadzki, Nagby, Arfston across the middle, and Ramirez, Rossi, and Cucho leading the line up front.
Los Logos.
Cup winning lineup there.
See.
That was all the firepower.
Yeah.
So, since this was a MLS, Liga MX production, they didn't have a lot of the stats up, but I did find where America held the possession advantage of 51-49 over the Crew. Each team had a reported 4 shots on target, and Crew with the advantages in corners and shots off target and yellow cards. So, wonderful stats. No XG. We could probably guess it's at 0.5 by 0.5.
Smart.
Yep.
Man, I'm looking through the stats I have on the dock, and it is eerily similar to both sides. Like 13 fouls to 11 fouls.
It was a great competitive game. So, yeah.
So fast. So, like, just very intense.
Yeah.
We can get into it.
I mean, the first half was mostly uneventful, with America having the better of the opportunities, but Columbus did come up with 2 big chances. The first in the 40th minute off an Arfston corner that Cucho was able to rise up and head down, but the force took it into the ground and over the
unbelievable
America goal.
Yeah, it's close.
Damn the dry weather. Damn it.
Yeah. At that point in time, yeah. The second one came off of a Cucho Trivella to an on-running Diego Rossi, who couldn't quite get his head around the ball, and it was able to be saved by Malagon for America.
Best pass I can remember seeing.
It was pretty nice.
That was
and honestly, kudos on Rossi for contorting his body to get something on it, like something substantial. So
the pass is burned into my mind. So good.
I yelled. I was like, "That's a beautiful Trivella." And my wife goes, "A what?" I was like,
"It's like obviously you don't do Duolingo."
So, yeah. All right. So we go into halftime 0-0. Coming out of half, 58th minute, you've got Schulte with the save off of his face. That was fun.
Yeah.
And opposite Zardes.
Yeah, stood big. He was actually really good in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
he's a pretty good goalie.
Good goalie. Good guy. 67th minute. Morten Haas, tell us about it.
So, goal, Club America. The Crew is fully committed to the attack with the whole team in America's half. The ball is being cleared from top of the Mexican champions box, and Nagby is beaten to the loose ball by Valdez. The ball then falls to Faldago, who plays it back to Valdez down the left channel, where an un-Russian Camacho dives recklessly and takes out the America number 10. However, right before this, Valdez managed to flick it past him into the middle. This is where Amundsen, Nagby, and Zawadzki are closing down Acquire.
pronunciations, brought to you by the idiots of Upper 90 Club.
Check that one out.
Ding.
Who somehow drops the ball back to Fildago, catching the crew trio completely out of position. Fildago passes the ball to the mid-circle where Davia finds himself on an island with only Schulte in front of him. In the ensuing foot race, Morera almost catches up with America at number 11, but as he dives in, he plays it to the Schulte's lower right corner from about 8 yards out. 1-0 America. All of America's 61-minute subs were involved in that goal, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, and though from what I understand, those three are phenomenal. I actually don't know that much about them, but
their whole team was a good team. So.
That was the one. Was that the one they said you can't be offside if
you're in your own half?
In your own half.
I didn't even know that.
Yes,
it's just so.
It
rare.
happens so
But
never.
You said it so well at the top, though, that we just had everybody way up.
And Camacho, see, the thing is, Camacho was fired up from an earlier incident, and he wanted to go all in on that tackle, and he just got burned.
And the good news is he didn't get carded because he absolutely should have gotten carded for that tackle.
No. The good news was 2 minutes later in the 69th, Columbus comes right back with Farsi driving down the line, curling across into the back post for a diving Diego Rossi, who misses it just wide right of the far post.
God,
again, he did a fantastic job on this.
Yeah, we responded really well.
So, 77th minute, though.
That was the good news?
Yeah. Well,
but the better news.
But the better news is in the 77th, we're going to hear about Morton telling us about this.
You got to do it in the accent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crew corner taken by Rossi from the southwest corner of the stadium. Ball is being met by Ramirez that beats Aguirre in the duel 7 yards out, right in the middle of the box. The header looks to go wide, but Amundsen, who works his way back from an offside position on the far post, managed to beat his marker, Calderon, to flick the ball into Malagon's right side netting. 1-1 Crew.
Your face is doing a lot of work.
Yeah, it sounds good.
I love the pronunciation of the Hispanic names.
Yeah, you have to do the American style.
Yeah.
Sanchez.
It says a lot
Tortillas.
about your perception of the Americans.
Jeez, Mort, you're right. We do suck.
So right after that, I think the subs were already up, but in the 78th, you had Matan coming in for Zawadzki and Jason Russell Rowe on for Ramirez. And
Zawadzki went out first half with an injury, right? But he came back. Was that this game?
Oh yeah. He went out, but he came back in.
But it was a rib injury, and now he's out for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
From that, so.
So 86th minute, Crew with 3 more subs. You had AZ coming in for Rossi, DeJuan Jones for Arfston, and Herrera for Farsi. Little foreshadowing. I don't think these were the best moves at the time, but game ends 1-1, and as this tournament goes, it's just a 1-game tournament, it goes straight to pens. So,
extra time
I thought we were
going
to get it.
You saw him turn it on like the last 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. We dominated them.
And they blew the whistle on a corner kick.
That's right, and they should not have. And that's the reason why Cucho got the...
Yes.
It would have been the second corner, though.
Yeah, they took a corner
but he
kick
didn't clear it.
They headed it over his own goal, and then we got another corner kick, and then he blew the whistle, which is ridiculous.
I'm fine with it.
I'm not.
I am.
This
Score
time
earlier. Score sooner. I think I'm with Trey.
Yeah.
I say think so that I
don't think we'd have scored, but general rule of thumb is you don't...
the door open.
You don't do that.
He didn't. He let it play out, and they didn't, and it went out of play. The Crew played it out on a shot, and he blew the whistle.
No, it was a corner. Like the other team didn't clear it.
I thought it was a deflection or something. It was going to be another corner, right?
Yeah, so they didn't clear it.
Well, it was already a corner that was already past the time. They're not going to give you 2 for the price of 1 kind of thing. They gave you 1 corner, that's your chance. They're going to blow the whistle.
One day, if UNICEF gets into the corner kick business, then
So
Joe Dirt.
I think we're just going to run through these penalties real fast. So you had Camacho going first, and he scored.
He's our best penalty taker, which is crazy.
Valdez for America shot good. Matan's shot was saved by Malagón, and Sanchez's shot was saved by Schulte. Russell Rowe good, Aguirre good, Cucho good, Fidalgo good, DeJuan Jones good, Davia, who was the goal scorer for America, good. AZ, not good. The ball was saved. Right after it, Schulte saved Juarez, though. And then Amundsen off the crossbar.
And we're not going to talk
while
about that at
the
all.
goalie was off the line. And then America scored with Araujo, and that was good, and that allowed them to host the fake cup that we are presenting.
Schulte was on that one, but it was just too much power on it.
Yeah, it was a good pen.
Hey, man, if your goalie saves 2 out of 5 or 6, that should be good enough.
Right.
We only made 50% of our we don't deserve to win if we're making.
We
50%.
have always watched. Like I don't think I've ever watched a team. I know I have obviously have not watched a team as much as I've watched the Crew. I can't remember feeling so confident about a keeper. Like he'll stop a couple.
He did.
Yeah,
he'll stop at least one. And like I don't know that that's that common.
No.
This is what I was thinking going into it. Was just like going into it, and then even retrospectively, it's just like keepers just don't do this well. And we have seen so many shootouts between Leagues Cup and all the playoff run that we did. I guess maybe I don't know if we did a PK shootout last year, but the point is, I've seen him take a lot of PKs, and he's exceptional.
Yeah, it wasn't America. It was something in the Leagues Cup when he was. Who was it? It was at Tigres. Yeah, Tigres at Tigres.
Yep.
He was like
CCC,
insane. And then I think New York, like City, to go to the finals or whatever.
Yes.
Like, and this time, every time he had to save
When
one,
Cucho
like they saved one, he came up big. Like he's a great keeper.
He almost came up big in the last one too.
I know that would have been insane. 3 times he had to like get out of here.
This game is one of the better games I've ever seen at lower.com. It was the pace of the game, just the competitiveness of it. It was very, very good, very entertaining, back and forth. The crowd was probably kind of a 50-50 crowd. I think it still is kind of a crowd that, like after the end of the whistle, some people took their jersey off and had the other jersey underneath. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit more of that now, but it's interesting to these games now when we're playing, like even Club America, that is a 50-50 in the stand, and there's a lot of like, mostly people coming there to support the Crew. Like it's a total different vibes to this game than it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. 2 things on the game. I think one, now that we have Leagues Cup and CONCACAF, we don't need this anymore. Like this was like a game to throw in there because we wanted to like figure out who was better, Mexico or MLS. But it's like now that we have the tournaments, we don't need this anymore because it also doesn't make sense. Well, it also doesn't make sense because like this is who won it last year, and then usually what they were saying is like if a team wins the cup either in Liga MX or MLS, their team gets poached for their good players, and then by the next year they're not as good. This was the one time where I think we had almost all of our players from the previous year, and they were only missing. I can't remember his name. One of their strikers was gone. So it was like 2 full strength teams. That's why the game was so good.
May I add that the wage bill is about 100 million or plus, and we
102.4.
Yeah,
and
we are 25 maybe.
Yeah,
no, 50, 54 something.
50. No,
I think we're 25.
Nope, it's 54. Huh? Nope, sorry, 57.85. That's in pounds, though.
That is no way. That's the value of the team. That is not.
That's on transfer market.
Okay, that's the value of the team, or value of the squad, not how much we're paying our players.
Yeah, it's 26. I looked it up earlier. So we're at like a
zooming back out. I think they should play this game. I'm fine with the game. They should do it like after the MLS Cup, like in December. Or something. It's a bad. I was annoyed with the timing.
We just don't need it. We have an all-star game, like
any
MX versus
team
like
who's going to play
really
in this, any team, crew or otherwise, that is going to play this game is also going to have just finished Leagues Cup and just finished CCC before that. I mean, I guess you could get bounced from CCC and Leagues. You could not follow up your MLS Cup.
Well, Mexico doesn't match what we do. That's the problem.
I know. And so now we're in this position where we're like squeezing in another Wednesday game. Anyone who's going to do well in the other, like any team worth their salt who wins the MLS Cup is going to do well in the subsequent next season tournaments. And so they will have games rescheduled. They're going to have all this late schedule congestion and be dealing with the same problems that we're dealing with now, which is like just match congestion is an understatement.
Yeah. Especially for us, and I think we talked about it last week, LAFC. Like LAFC also is like 50 plus games. So I just don't think we need it anymore. Like the point of it is gone. It doesn't prove anything. It doesn't do anything.
Well, then they should have rolled out the lineup we played against RSL after winning that Tigres game, because I think that
I would say
there are real impacts to our Saturday game, which we'll talk about.
But what is really cool here is
Yeah,
this is a high-profile game. It's kind of you're playing the Yankees of North America. They're like the biggest club by far in all of North America, and actually it's a kind of a global brand. Yeah, Club America. Yeah, it's one of the biggest
top
clubs.
10.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and of course you want to, and we go toe to toe. I mean, it's
they were saying the rankings had us set first in the region, CONCACAF.
Yeah,
and they were ranked third.
I still say we should have gave them some poison water or some secret Gatorade. Or I mean, it's a good play.
We've got more to talk about when we read the internet. I know we got to go 2 and 2 for this episode. So let's go to Saturday in DC.
All right. Saturday, September 28th, 2024, at possibly the ugliest erector set of a stadium, Audi Field. The Crew faced off against the Fighting Benteques. The weather in DC for this was a humid 83 degrees at kick.
Woof.
This game was a fight back and forth, and the stats showed it. The Crew led in possession with a 59-41% advantage. Total shots, 16-13, accurate passes, and Schulte had 5 big saves. But DC United led in shots on target, big chances, and accurate long balls. And I think we can all agree that DC's United Corn is their counterattack. And all the important feels like of soccer went to DC with an XG of 2.53 to 1.53.
Skibbity Riz.
Yeah.
Yep.
Starting for the Crew was
Benteke
Schulte
had some
in
long
goal.
balls.
In the back, you had Marrero, Camacho, and Amundsen, Farsi, Matan, Nagby, and Arston across the midfield, Russell Rowe, Rossi, and Cucho up top.
Still pretty strong from Wednesday, right? I thought it was going to be like a bigger overhaul, and I was like, oh, I guess we rolling.
So,
Nancy
21st
back
minute.
in T-shirt.
Back in T-shirt.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah, he was
It's
dressed
probably
up
a little bit
for
hot.
America, and I was like, it's an L. You know what I mean? He wears a tie. It's like, come on, dog.
Ben saw him in the suit, and he just pulled off his Crew anything he had on and went, no, I'm double cursing this thing.
Oh, yeah, I was completely naked watching the game.
Yeah.
With friends.
And then
Kids' birthday party.
I hate to spoil it. I hate to spoil it for
in my
anyone
birthday
who's
suit.
listening to this show but didn't watch the game. But did we get a draw because he dressed up for the White House and then wore a T-shirt to the game? We'll talk about it later. But
Too
all right,
much.
Go ahead, Trey.
All right, 21st minute, you had JR to Farsi down the right wing. Cross comes in from Farsi, and Rossi takes it one time, but unfortunately it's saved by the DC United keeper. All right, 30th minute, Morton, shuck this one.
Goal DC United. So the Crew has possession about 40 yards out with the entire team. Amundsen plays a poor ball from the middle towards Crew's left side. The pass overhits Arston and gets intercepted by Herrera, who plays one-touch ball to Di Pietro out of DC's left back. Di Pietro uses speed and momentum to get by an unrushing Amundsen. While the two gets entangled in a moment, the speedy DC winger leaves Amundsen in the dust and enters the Crew box, creating in this counter a 2-1 situation with only Camacho back. He finds Benteke with a square pass to finish the attack with a one-touch shot between Schulte's leg for the penalty spot.
Thanks, Haas.
That was a good one, Haas.
Golden boot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this takes us into half with Crew trailing 0-1. Coming at a halftime, you had Cheberko come on for Amundsen. That was in the 46th. And then in the 47th, Cheberko earns a yellow card for breathing on Clit, who then makes a meal of it and rolling around like a child because he took his passy away.
That was awesome. That was so
I missed it.
And they showed the replay, and that it was like the tuft, his bangs.
Yeah.
His bangs,
they were face to face. And
how was that not a yellow
forehead.
card for like?
He got it.
He
It
yellow.
was. Okay, I did text that.
Yeah.
I was a little bit distracted watching this.
Thankfully, this earns him a yellow card as well.
There we go.
Good on him.
It was.
I should keep listening to the story.
Klish. Oh, yeah. We got
Oh, is it? Yeah. It's a silent SCH in the end.
Yeah. I got to probably bleep his name the first time.
All right.
Why not?
And then in the 54th, Morton. Break this one down.
Goal, Columbus Crew. After a period of DC pressure, Crew established an attack with possession on the left side. The ball goes from the left to the right side, from Arston through Nagby and Matan to Marrera, that flips the possession all the way to Farsi on the right side. He plays the ball back to Marrera, who finds Cucho, who has found some space on the top right of the DC box. He traps the ball and in one motion twists and shoots the ball with a dipping curve over to the upper 90 above a diving Bono's right.
Do you guys see the picture they took of him looking back while he's in midair trying to save it online? Yeah, if you're listening to this, look it up. Cucho ended up, I think MLS posted it, and then Cucho put like a pointing finger or something like that to it.
Was it kind of like the old meme of the little girl with the house on fire behind her? As she's like,
wait, hold on. Say that again, Ben. What was he? What?
It's Bono, and it's like him jumping up, and it's like his head's turned all the way around, almost like Exorcist style as it's going in, and he just has this like weird look on his face, like, whoa.
Yeah, there was a Cucho's 16th goal of the MLS season.
I'm glad he's on our team. Ooh,
so
he's all right.
This goes back to the comment that was made in my house was. He's winning these games for. I mean, like we're most of the games we're winning because of him. This goal reminded me a lot of the one that he hung on Loris, or Loris against LA, where I think it was also service from.
Is
Marrera.
his first name Klee? Klee?
No, that's the other guy. You gotta bleep that one too.
Yeah.
But I went back and looked at that goal. He actually one-touched that. I think he settled this one before he shot it, but service from Marrera in a similar position just drained it.
It was disgusting. It was like
from the
dunk.
right to the left. That's the one.
Yes.
It's like how he hits it is insane. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 3 minutes later, Morton, do it.
Goal, Columbus Crew. Crew continues
You don't
to
have
pressure.
to do it.
You have to do it.
I have to do it.
Yeah.
Crew continues to pressure higher up the half.
Tip of the hat.
Cucho has dropped to a deeper position on the right side, plays the ball back to his defense, I guess it is in American. Camacho squares the ball from the right back to Cheberko in the center. He knocks the ball from the mid-circle back out to Cucho on the right wing, about 1/3 into DC's half. With one touch, he sets himself up, scans the field, and plays a long curling ball into DC's box where Russell Rowe had made an explosive run. RR dives and heads the ball from about 8 yards out to the upper 90, this time to the left of Bono. Pure class, his 5th goal, and Cucho's 9th assist of the year in MLS play.
Dude, Jack and Russell Rowe.
Jackin'.
So I watched that a couple times. Was that to Russell Rowe? It looked like he was almost to Matan, or he was trying to get, like, it wasn't. Because it was so filthy.
Like, considering the tear that he's been on, I'm giving him credit that was
I am too.
Intentional.
Yeah.
I mean,
game over. We go home. W.
71st minute crew with 2 subs. DeJuan Jones in for Arfston and Shambos in for Mr. Russell Rowe. And then 77th minute, Diego earns a yellow card for running his mouth, probably.
Yeah.
78th minute, crew sub Derek Jones in for Matan.
Chirping in this game.
Yeah.
And 81st minute, Morton, pop that corn.
Goal. DC United. After a lot of back and forth, DC retains possession in the right wing and Crew's half. Herrera cuts in and plays a square ball to Enau. On his second touch, he knocks it down the middle to an unrushing Murrell, who with his outside left foot flicks the ball square to Pirani on the top of the box. He settles it and plays a splitting 8-foot pass to Benteke right in front of an outplayed Camacho. Benteke's perfect first touch take him into the Crew box, and he finished calmly with his left from the penalty spot to the bottom corner of Schulte's left. This is the 33-year-old's 21st goal of the season, giving him a 3-goal lead over Bwanga in the Golden Boot race.
We did a bad job defending.
Yeah.
We did a bad job.
Well, I will say this. That play from DC is actually really, there's a lot of good stuff happening in that for them. It's small margins, but it's a lot of good cut in. Herrera starts in on the right side, and he played a very good game, by the way. I thought for DC.
All right, 89th minute, Cucho earns a yellow card. And 89th crew with 1 final sub. Herrera comes on for Farsi. This game ends in a 2-2 draw. Columbus improves to 16-5-9 on 57 points, which moves them up to second place above Cincinnati and below Inter Miami, who the crew will play this upcoming Wednesday at lower.com.
By the way, the last 2-3 minutes of this game was almost as nuts as that.
Yeah, it was bananas.
Alabama, Georgia game. And for those who watch the football.
That game was crazy.
I didn't watch that game. I was on a text
thread
where people were just texting insane, the word insane. So I don't know what happened, but this is my second point of validation on that, so I'll have to look into that. Yeah. I want to talk about this team, DC, because we had a hard-fought game against them. They mentioned it on the broadcast. When we played DC at home, this was the game when Cucho came back from his timeout and got a red card. And then we got saved. I think it might have been a draw, but Morris scored for us. Anyway, I bring this up because I mean, our team has been winning a lot. We've lost a couple. But this game was what I felt the most like what we talked about preseason, which is, well, you're the champions. Everyone's going to give you their best game. This game felt like we're going to beat the Columbus Crew because they are. I mean, I know that they're vying for playoff contention, and so there's a lot on the line for them. But to me, I don't know. Gunning for the top team is just that's one way to get points. I mean, I don't know. It felt like based on the play and what I heard their coach talking about before the game that they had this circled on the calendar and they were ready to play us and I mean, we were we're stacking 2 games a week up and I don't know. I felt like I saw some fatigue out there.
Yeah, there's some fatigue and there's some also. This is kind of our oldest standing rivalry in many ways. The DC rivalry, that was what they said this at the start, but I think it was our 80-something meeting in MLB.
I was annoyed by seeing the 4 stars on the jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're so old, they're faded. It's like, it's like,
Do they ever die? Do they ever turn into like red giants or whatever?
I thought it was black dwarfs. Is that wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely wrong. I don't know what they turn into.
It is a black dwarf. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I know white dwarf.
It doesn't
maybe more.
feel right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't won since probably like what?
When you say
early
that, you
2000s.
have to put star behind it, by the way. Then it sounds better.
Those are 4 asterisks. Like, remember that time? It's like, kind of, not really, no. Yeah, it's frustrating because, I mean, they are the 12th. You know, they're 12th in the East. And it's like, man, they did not play like they were 12th in the East. And that's kind of what we faced this entire. But, I mean, them the breaks for being good. You know what I mean?
Well, it's even more frustrating because the other results fell in our favor.
Yeah.
Miami tied against Charlotte, and Cincy lost.
Yeah. 2007.
The other thing is DC is the worst team in the league at home. Oh, in the Eastern
that
Conference.
field was trash.
In the Eastern Conference, they're the second worst team at home. They're just better than San Jose. So that's kind of another thing that is disappointing. This team is
that, and you just shut down Benteke. They have one guy, and he scored.
They have one.
Yeah,
they have one.
cool.
It's like the Bowanga. It's like what we were talking about, Bowanga.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of my segue into our Cirque stat. Let's do that now.
This is Steve Cirque, and this is a Cirque stat.
He says, fun game, but Crew 96 need to win that one to have any realistic shot at the Shield. Pass Cincy with a game in hand, though. It's still possible, right?
No.
You're still saying there's a chance? No?
I mean,
no chance?
Well, there's a chance.
I think
There
they have
is
to,
a chance.
They have,
to
to
lose.
lose. Yeah, they have to lose their remaining games.
Revs.
And we have to
No,
win.
no, not remaining games.
Not
They
remaining
just
games.
lose against Revs.
I'm pretty
right?
sure it's remaining games.
Well, how many games do they have left?
So
Let's do the math in real time. Let's do it right now. I'm
They
putting
have.
you on
Oh
the
yeah,
spot.
you're right. They have Crew. They have Toronto and New England. They have 3
so
games left. We have 4 games.
They
left.
have to lose all 3 games. We have to win all
No.
3 games. We win by 1.
Is that
Yeah.
true?
We would have 66 points, and they would have 65.
They have 65 now?
True.
They have 65 now.
Right.
We have 57. So we're down 8 with
If we win,
which is-
no, hold on. If we win the one in hand, they have 65. We have 60, right?
Yes.
Right.
Correct.
And if we beat them, they have 65. We have 63. That means they only need to lose one of them if we win out.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Okay. Well, we have to beat them head to head.
Yeah, we have to beat them.
We were counting that one.
Of course,
they,
we have to.
so
beat
they have to
them head-to-head.
they have to lose 2. But I mean,
But we have to beat
that
them.
means- yeah,
Is
beat
what
them.
I'm saying.
Somebody else have to beat them.
I'll keep saying
So
that.
we have to hope for
Tough beat.
the quality teams,
Yeah.
Toronto and Toronto away maybe, but New England when they play in Miami, New England last game at home.
Dude, I don't
Caleb.
know, man. Porter could
Caleb.
just pull some like gangster
Manchurian candidate. He's been sandbagging this whole time just to help his old club.
stuff. Oh man.
Because we look back so fondly, especially on his latter years. Okay, let's break now, and when we come back, we'll read the internet. We'll be right back.
Tip of the hat, club. This is Stacy, president and supreme leader of the Upper 90 Run Club, and I have a few important announcements for you. This campaign season, I feel for all the candidates vying for office, and I wish them all the best on election day. I don't like to run for office. I just like to run. Yay! And if you do too, I want you to join the club. It's easy to join, and it's a great way to engage with the crew community while being active. Download the Strava app and search for Upper 90 in groups.
So easy.
Also, grab some swag. My subjects have informed me that the Run Club now has official race kits available for purchase.
That's right.
Go to supportersupply.com and you can find the race kit by searching Upper 90. They look good and they feel great too.
It's a smash hit.
Anyway, I'm gonna hit the bricks, but I can't wait to see everyone in the club soon. My name is Stacy and I approve this message.
All right, we're back. We saw that the crew on Friday did their MLS Cup victory lap at the White House.
Does
we saw
every
photos.
team do that when they play DC? It's like whenever they do DC,
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
had that
oh, that's right,
thought.
we won last year. Can we go ahead and check out what
While we're in town.
Yeah, let me hit up the
Yeah.
POTUS.
It's an MLS
Check the
tradition
Lincoln.
from when the spending was a lot less. It's kind of like, yeah, we're just going to combine this in
Yeah.
one trip.
Yeah.
It was interesting
It
seeing all the
never
old
occurred to
players,
me-
too.
Yeah, it never occurred to me that they would optimize it with the schedule.
I like the extra people that was there too. Like they had Morgan. Morgan was there, right?
Oh, yeah. I think he got an invite. I don't know why I got the invite.
Yeah.
Why didn't we get an
maybe.
invite?
Why
I haven't
didn't
been
we
to DC.
Yeah.
His invite was for all of his hard work advertising on our show. So it seems like should have also been included. Yeah, so and I saw Biden got a jersey, Doug Emhoff got a jersey.
Doug.
Yeah, okay.
Doug.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. They so and I mentioned earlier too, they all had like the logoed blazers.
Pursuit suits.
Yeah.
I mean, they are sharp. Are they navy blue?
Yes.
Is there a reason why they're navy blue and not black?
No one wears black suits. That's
Sure.
like a funeral thing.
Funeral. Right.
Yep.
Dude, I haven't worn a tie in years.
You can wear like a tux is black, but like black suits, I think are. I mean, let's just put it this way: you're not gonna go hang out in a black suit. You know, it's like you're doing something serious if you're wearing a black suit.
Like getting married.
I feel like Campeones Cup, you might have been wearing a black suit.
It's kind of the same thing. Funerals, weddings. You know, it's end of a life.
Yeah, totally. Down with wise.
Yeah,
Down with wise.
You'd be clugging a few of these if you had.
Can you imagine how big your bourbon cabin would be, Ben?
Yeah.
I'd be dead.
Okay.
I would.
No.
right.
If she wasn't around, you know.
This is gonna be a long podcast in honor of the holiday, of course. Let's skip any thoughts and players. We snuck a few in earlier. Let's jump straight to the internet.
Let's dive into. I did want to touch on because I was really emotional after the Campeones Cup when he came off the line. So there's a lot of stuff on the internet. I was able to.
We're talking about the shootout that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and we didn't get to like
goalie.
Yeah,
as we texted. Let's take one step back in the past to what's in our brains while we're watching the shootout. The goalie can't step off the line, and if they do, they have to retake the shot. Right? That's everyone's understanding of it.
In a nutshell.
In short.
But
in short.
Yeah, so on the internet, and I actually posted this from Andrew Wiebe because that guy drives me nuts sometimes. He said, "Here's the law. Referees called it correctly. Justice ultimately served." And then he proceeds to...
Seems like that last part wasn't necessary, but...
Yeah, well, he's just being a MLS troll. He says... the goalkeeper offense, if the ball enters the goal is awarded. All right, cool. If the ball misses the goal or rebounds from the crossbar or goalpost, the kick is only retaking if the goalkeeper's offense clearly impacted on the kicker.
Subjective.
That's the thing that he is clearly missing is like, oh, it's correctly. And I'm like, no, there's gray area. And then it says, if the ball is prevented from entering the goal by a goalkeeper, the kick is retaken. So what he's saying is because Multi didn't technically put it on the goal because it was off the crossbar, it doesn't count as a shot on goal. Then they just go, oh, then it's not retaken. But did it impact his kick is what he was asking. My frustration is he's like, oh, obviously this is correct. And it's coming from a guy who's never played in a soccer game or taken a penalty kick in his life. What do you guys think? Do you think it actually impacted Amundsen?
Nope.
I don't necessarily.
Now, is that your opinion?
Well, how can my opinion be? What is that?
How am I not myself?
You're an idiot.
The second week.
I disagree. So, all right. So to piggyback off that, I grabbed this thing from Reddit, And so it's this guy, a guy in Ohio says, so always jump way ahead and hope it throws the kicker off enough for a full miss. I mean,
that's taking something small and making it what it's not. Is the fact that he left the line early, went the wrong way. Amundsen went the other way. He didn't touch the ball. Amundsen missed the frame of the goal. Then you go, well, it impacted.
No.
But did he go the opposite way because he saw the goalie jump out the wrong way? And he
still missed the net. He missed the net.
But he missed the net because the goalie jumped out towards him. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't care, though.
That's your opinion.
What were his eyes doing when the shot was taken?
That's the problem. Hold on, Morton. That's exactly what the issue is. Your opinion is it impacted him. My opinion is it didn't impact him. So you have to put something.
He went off the line, and that shouldn't happen.
And then the other fact is he didn't hit the goal. He hit the crossbar. It didn't go in the net, and it wasn't saved by the keeper.
Okay, I think the fact that ball went like a millimeter lower, it goes in. But two things. Yeah. The other thing is the context here is the penalty is already taken on the ones we scored. Rudy Camacho scores. I'm not 100% sure he's looked awfully close to be off the line. Russell Rowe, he's off the line. When Kucher's shooting, he's off the line. So when DeJohn Jones scores, he's off the line. So he's consistently...
Is that Mr. Mustard Jones?
Yeah. he's consistently off the line every shot. That affects the shootout. So when this happens, they need to review it and say like, hey, he repeatedly does this. We're going to retake it. I think that should come into context.
That is 100% correct. And you pair that with the center ref, like making everybody put that ball in the center of the spot,
which was ridiculous. What was going on? That was an Abbott and Costello. Like what? How did that happen? I'm so glad you brought that up.
He was consistent. He did that with both teams.
He did. He was an idiot.
It was just super dumb. It was.
And the funny thing is, Amundsen put his shot perfectly middle. Didn't get any talking to at all.
Yeah.
That's the ironic part of that.
The other thing I would say is, I see where you're coming from. Where I'm like, yeah, he didn't put it on frame. So yeah. After sleeping on it for a couple of days, I'm like, all right, I actually am okay with that. I think he probably didn't. But for a guy who kept doing the thing they tell him not to do, it should have been like, dude, we told you 4 times. Well, it didn't impact the player.
Right.
I don't know if it did or didn't, but we told you 4 times. So like, hey, man, like they even said it on the broadcast, like it looks like he's being talked to. Oh, he's off his line again. They scored. Well, he's off his line. It's like, okay, since he did it 4 times before, I would just be like, I don't know if it did or didn't because there's this gray area, but the fact that you're a multiple offense person getting off the line, we told you we're going to allow this. Stop breaking the rules, dude. Like, I don't know if he did or didn't. In my heart, I don't think he does.
Statement, but when you get down to the bare bones of like the facts of it is, he missed the shot, he was off the line, but he missed the goal. Yeah. So,
and I will say in the stadium, people were like, oh, well, he missed it. There wasn't anything to that. Anybody else that maybe got like the text messages like I did, most of them were kind of like, oh, well, that kind of sucked, right?
Yeah. My bigger thing was the multiple offense. If you hit it off the crossbar, I'm like, I understand the rule, but when somebody's like, it's ultimately correct, and it's like, well, there still is a gray area. The rule is bad, whether we want to count the goal or not. It's like, it should just be, and I do want to say, to put a pin in this, I do think that rule of like having to be on the line for the entire thing gives a way bigger advantage to the guy who already has the biggest advantage, which is a free shot on goal.
Well,
so I'm and also
it's a very gray area. Liverpool won the Champions League because the goalie was like 4 feet off the line, saving a penalty, which is ridiculous.
Well, they also should outlaw the stutter step or once you start that motion, you shouldn't be allowed to like stop.
You can't fully stop.
Well, that's another thing where I'm like,
I don't want to have to explain it.
I think
again.
this
Anyways.
conversation
You
is evidence
shouldn't
that we are
have
not,
to-
that we are
that's
not living
crap.
in a simulation. Is there anything else on the internet?
Yeah, from Elon Musk, he said, "We are living in a simulation. You're welcome." No, he says,
What did he say? What did Musk say about
He
it?
said a bunch of
JP174505.
Yeah. Another clip from Reddit. JB's, 174505. He says, "Elephant in the room. We all love Nagby, and he's arguably the best midfielder in MLS history, but he hasn't looked great the last few games."
Stock down.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Trigger Mort. It's not his fault we've relied on him so much, but at his age and with the amount of games we've played, it seems like we should be making whatever change we can to not be relying on him so much.
I disagree with that statement. First of all, we go to the Club America game where the level is higher. He looked pretty good. You know who kind of struggled with the level going up? Obviously, he had probably a broken rib, but Savatsky has been good enough for us to cover in MLS. The second the competition gets a little bit trickier, like Club America, he couldn't turn with the ball like Morris did, like turn and go upfield and make a positive pass. He got bullied off the ball like 3-4 times in that game.
When did he got hurt pretty early? I'm pretty sure he has a fractured rib.
Yeah, so he might. That might be the excuse, but to that point, I
hear what you're saying.
Nagby, yes, I agree. Nagby hasn't been the same as he maybe was previous season, but he's still so good. He's the least of our problem is Nagby. Yeah, he's not as good as he used to be, but he's still fantastic. Is my argument. He's still above most midfielders in this league.
So I agree with the first.
Yeah, Nagby out of either one of these games, I don't think the result changes.
Right. I agree with the first part of this. I disagree with the second part, where we should be making whatever change we can and not be relying on him so much. You ride that horse. You ride that horse till it's dead.
You kill that horse.
You kill that horse.
We want Nagby dead. Publish it.
You just ride him. Just go.
I just want to murder a horse.
Win, right?
Yeah. No. No horses will be harmed. But seriously, like, who knows what he's going to do at the end of the season? He is our best midfielder at this point. This is not the time period to be figuring things out. You play him and you ride him.
Yeah, I also think we sold Morris because we could.
Killed him.
And yeah, I mean, we got rid of Morris and we didn't have a backup necessarily. Like, we can all agree that Jones is not at that
Zawadzki
level.
Is his backup.
Well, it's Zawadzki and Nagby, and then the next person they're putting in is Matan.
No. Zawadzki was Morris's backup.
Yeah, but what he's saying is, like, you know, if we're not relying on him too much, the next up would be Zawadzki, but then we need another person to pair with.
Yeah,
Jones isn't it, and Matan is just a different player.
That's the interest, and that
yet.
tells me everything I need to know. When you need an extra midfielder, you're putting Matan, which traditionally played more on the one of the top 3 positions.
Changes how you
right?
play.
Yeah.
We all know he can't shoot, though.
Which one?
Matan. Mr. Dribbly Boy.
I mean, I haven't even.
I'm saved our bacon in the.
I'm still waiting
CCC
for my
tournament.
annual Nagby banger, but
yeah, we're waiting on that.
All right, last one.
I was glad to see.
he doesn't have a goal this year.
Jones. I was glad to see Jones back in the PK or in the penalty shootout lineup.
He's good. Well, he also can use both feet. He's like, they said that he normally, like, goalies never have a beat on like which foot he's actually going to use or like what side.
Yeah. In New England, they refer to him as the Grey Poupon of penalty shooters. All right, go ahead.
They did.
What's next?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As referenced earlier.
Dijon.
That was a callback. I was hoping that one would slide a little more inconspicuously, but
I'm gonna write.
Here we are. Go ahead, man.
Crickets.
Don't cricket me. That was a good joke. Don't cricket me because Hawes is out
at 120. All right. The other one I pulled from Icky House, it says, now that Supporters Shield is all but gone, We need to rest the guys like Rossi, Nagbe, Cucho. All looked gas in the last 10 to 15 minutes. There was an absolute drop in play when they were on there. We played a lot of soccer. We need to get fresh for the playoffs. So we have
That's a take.
It's an interesting. So there's 2 games this week, and then do we have? Is it another double game week after that? I actually don't.
No. It's all Saturdays. Saturday. It's Wednesday, Saturday, Saturday.
Okay. So, I mean, man,
I think you base it on the Miami result.
That's what I was going to say.
You win in Miami or win against Miami, you keep going.
You
gotta keep, or until you're statistically out. Yeah. You have to keep playing for that spot.
We're probably statistically out, but mathematically out.
Yeah, but we're the other thing is like we're out of.
Yeah. That was more not me.
Yeah, we're out. So if the supporter shield is gone, we still want to get second, and I would even argue that we want to be, at least second in the East, but I think we want to be second overall, period. So like the MLS Cup, because the Galaxy, I think, we'll talk tables in a minute, but
you could play at home the whole way through.
Yeah,
so play against Miami in Miami, should that come to pass, and then host the Cup.
Well, that's something we talked about last week, but we failed to mention how good that LA Galaxy team is right now.
Yeah,
they're currently ahead of us in points, so we wouldn't host MLS Cup. So even if we play second, they're probably going to host it.
Don't say that.
We have a game in hand.
We have a game in hand, though.
But
we do.
But it's. Those are some fine margins. And the other thing, we said we did the Cirque stat. So it was a bummer we lost the cup. It was a bummer that we tied DC. We really needed that win for the supporter shield. But the silver lining is we are above Cincy. For the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
So that's like a positive to take away from all this stuff, even though, that's...
Previously, we had the same number of points, but fewer wins.
Mm-hmm.
So we jumped them in points. We're 1 point above Cincy.
And Galaxy is currently on 58 points on 31 games.
Is this a consensus to answer our friend Icky House? We say... let it ride.
I think ultimately it's like, all right, good take, but let's go out swinging against Miami. And if we can win that, because Miami, do they tie this weekend? They tied the last 3 games, right? Like they're not.
And do we? I don't remember. This is just unpreparedness on my part, but if we came in second in the East, do we get a bye?
Yes.
The first week of the
playoffs. It should take a lot for us to not have a bye at this point, because I believe it's a top 4 getting the bye in the first round. So the top 4 go straight into the best of 3 round. And then you will have...
is that right?
Yeah.
We get a full week off.
I'm like brain farting. I don't remember how they...
We'll look into it. We'll have our team look into it.
No way to know.
This will be good fodder for later. But the point I'm trying to make is there may be some baked in rest time if we go, full potential from here on out, as long as it makes sense to, as we pursue the supporters shield or highest possible seed, and then take the rest when it's built into the schedule.
Yeah, and I like what he was doing before, which was, resting people for like a half and then bringing on like Cucho at half or something like that. It's like, hey guys, just figure it out for like 45 minutes. Like, do your best.
We're playing half games.
Yeah, like that seemed to be quite effective. So instead of playing our starters and having them be gassed at the end like DC, it actually may have been better to start. Give those guys a rest and then brought them on like at the half.
Too, guys. That's also a plus for us.
Yeah. Man, I hope it comes down to New England having to beat Miami and having Porter go out there. Porter gets a red card for like streaking and punching people and like but they win. Oh man,
clown show. #clown show. Okay, I think we're good to break here. Or do we have a Crew 2 update?
We do. I didn't get to watch the game today, but yeah, I'll hit up Bird, but I'm pretty sure we do.
Okay, let's do that, and we'll be right back.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me again. So yeah, a few weeks ago I said that we've had 3 games coming up. That was 2 games ago, and I said if those 3 games I was pretty confident I could win all 3 of them. Unfortunately, we've already lost 2. Last night, the Cappies lost 1-0 at home to the Chicago Fire 2, and that puts us in a really tough position for making the playoffs. I think that now our destiny is out of our hands. We need other teams to lose in order to make it. So things are not as well as they were as expected them to be, as they were supposed to be. We've been fighting a lot of injuries. We had 2 red cards on the game before this one, so the team was really depleted coming in. But there's still a chance for us to make to the playoffs. I think that there's still a lot of highlights for this season on how, the crew as an organization has never developed talent as well as we have now. We are playing at this MLS Next Pro Championships against teams that are much older, much more experienced. And we're playing with it's basically a U19 team comprised mostly of academy players. So there's a lot of silver linings of highlights that I'll probably talk about once the season's over and we know if we made the playoffs or not. But at this point, we have one more game against the New England Revolution 2. This game is to be in Boston next week. And yeah, we got to win that one to still have chances to make playoffs. We're 9th right now, and the top 8 teams make it. So we got to win. We got to root for other teams to lose. Thank you very much. And remember to check your voter registration.
All right, we're back. Thanks, Bird. Yeah.
Another tough beat.
It's a tough beat. I'm glad that caught on. So do we want to talk about Next Pro? I mean, we still got some season left, right?
I think so. I'd have to double check. I know we had just talked about it during the break, but 3 games ago, we were 1 win away from being top of the table. And I think what Bird said last week is we may not make the playoffs now because it's so congested. And we just haven't done well, especially with, the last game getting all those red cards and then losing 1-0 this time. It just kind of stinks. So, and I think the Discord Echo was complaining about attendance. It was nasty, but I think there was only 25 tickets total sold for this game, which is can be kind of frustrating. But I mean, get out there if you can. Again, today was nasty. It was rainy. I'm sick. Everybody's sick.
I was just going to say,
heads are falling off.
You keep saying it's rainy, it's congested. Are you sure you're not just describing yourself?
Yeah. Everybody's eyes itches. Everybody's drinking tea.
Well, yeah. Well, they'll turn it around, right?
I don't know that.
They're going to turn around.
Yeah, they're turning around.
This was also a recovery week for the Run Club. I'm looking at our stats now. We're at 506 miles, which is an incredible feat. Last week, we famously put up 616 miles.
I will add that the president is tapering at the moment because she has a marathon. We are going to upstate New York next weekend to attend Wine Glass Marathon.
Okay.
So I get to drive out there and do that the next weekend.
I'm really excited. To upstate New York?
I'm really excited. Mm-hmm.
No, that's not a good drive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
How far?
No, it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic.
Close to Vermont?
No, not upstate New York. Just the middle of New York. Finger Lakes.
Start driving.
It's only 6-7 hours. Finger Lakes, 6-7 hours.
What did you say?
Finger ladies.
This reminds me. I just can't help myself. During the pandemic, we ordered some Little House on the Prairie style dresses for our daughters from a artisan who was from the Finger Lakes, and that's the only time I've ever heard that term. So
where did you order it from?
an
Were these for a
artisan who lives in the
photo?
Finger Lakes. That's the only time I've ever heard that term. Okay, so
Yeah, I don't like the term Finger Lakes. You
Hold
got to
on.
stop that.
Were your kids on like a Little House on the Prairie kick? And
we've been reading the books, man. We got
Yeah?
the whole collection. Yeah,
Those have got to be for adults, right?
You just
Not like
people
bad.
died. People die. It's
Oregon
like
Trail.
It's like
from
the
dysentery.
novel. It's the novel version of the Oregon Trail, is what
Yeah,
I was
dog.
going to say. It's like it is. It's not for the faint of heart.
There's other
There was
books. to
tough
read for
times,
kids.
man. There were
I'm reading
tough-
Wayside School's Falling Down.
Yeah, this there's some tough times in Little House on the Prairie series.
Actually, I think a
but
couple kids do die in Wayside School. Come to think about it. Yeah, one of them actually does.
I really like where this pod is going.
I
Book
think
club.
we're reaching.
ride that
We're
horse?
reaching
Gotta murder that.
Their miles are going on a run
Peak-
club. We're starting a book club.
peak quality.
Hey, I was hurt too. I don't know how many miles did I ran yesterday.
You're not in the top 10.
No,
I don't know
definitely
how
not.
much you ran.
6
Who's-
miles, maybe.
who's
I
the
think
club-
I'm gonna be
club leader.
Club leader this week is Francesca. Congratulations.
Really? Fran? Jessica?
Yep. Chris.
Well done, Francesca.
Fran put up 45. Chris put up 44 and a half. Sorry, Chris.
Oh man,
Walk the block, man.
still can. We got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This won't be released until tomorrow.
Yeah. Do it. Go, Chris. Nelson put up 40. President Stacy put up 37. Kaylin with
Tapering
37.
with 37 miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I hit 31.
There you go. Yeah, I saw you up there, and I was like, oh,
PR.
Puerto Rico. Bobby
what's his
Puerto
name?
Rico.
Anyway. Oh, and shout out to Florideca. It sounds like they're having insane times down there in Florida.
Oh yeah.
So
I think he was at the DC game. Wait, did I see
No.
that?
I don't think so.
DC's in Florida, right? The White House,
They're far
Pensacola,
apart.
Florida, White House.
They're far apart.
It's more like Central Florida. But
What else happened in the Run Club this week? I posted something that no one responded to.
Because you're too busy. They're too busy running. Good job.
That's good. That's good. All right, so let's move on. Let's get into our tables.
Just tables! 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 I can't know how to hear any more about tables.
Okay. In the Eastern Conference, we talked about this earlier. Miami's on top, 31 games played with 65 points. The Crew are in second with 57 points. That's 8 points back, but 1 game in hand. Cincy has 31 with 56 points. Orlando, 31 games, 46 points. It's a pretty big drop down. And then just below that is New York City, New York Red Bull, Charlotte FC, Toronto, and Philadelphia are in the playoff picture for the Eastern Conference. For the Shield, how do I look at this? I'll just mention that
Just scroll
Galaxy. Is it below?
Yeah, you
here we
scroll
go.
down.
Thank you. Okay, Galaxy are actually above us. They have 31 games played and 58 points. So we have a game in hand. And then the next Western Conference team that's in the mix is LAFC. Same games played as us, 30. Their points are 52. So they've got 5 points back from us. So
Yeah, it's like
I don't know. The big teams we got to keep an eye on are Galaxy and Miami. And we're going to be playing Miami
Cincinnati.
on Wednesday. Yeah. Well, yeah, and Cincinnati.
Yeah,
of course.
So really, in short, the top 3 in the East is pretty much solidified. The question is just what order the top 3 is going to be.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so and then within our predictions, we want to talk about our predictions tables as well, which I think are they're spreading out. If I remember last week correctly,
Oh, it's
we're
not
doing 2
really,
games a week, but
yeah, it's
how's
really,
it looking
really
more?
spreading out. So of course we did not count the America game, so I'm just going to cover the DC game. Obviously, nobody had the America game. Actually, Mars and I, we had ties. So credit to us.
Hey, who cares?
But we were wrong. Anyways, at DC, nobody
picked the crew to lose in a shootout.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, there you go. But anyway, for DC, nobody got the score right. But everybody but me had crew scoring 2 goals. So everybody got 1 point, and I got none, which means I'm still in the
Basement
lead.
just got a little bit higher.
Yes. Just I'm still number 1, 27 points, followed by Mars and Trey at 23. Then Ben at 22, and then also on the very bottom, Haas with 22 points. Miss you, Haas.
I missed you too.
So yeah, we haven't really talked about Haas that much.
So
good.
Do we have his predictions too?
I got them. Oh, so here, okay. So this is a good time to talk about this. I would have talked about it earlier, but I think this is actually the perfect time to talk about it.
He's got enough easy.
We start recording at about 9:30 Eastern. I pulled up my text with him to ask him for his predictions. And so we said earlier, he got his wisdom teeth out. He was talking about how he was, these days are long. He's on a bunch of medication to deal with
Mine
the
wasn't
pain
that bad. I don't remember.
And he got his teeth pulled, what was this, Thursday? This is like 3 days ago?
Yeah.
I know for a fact.
He's extra wise.
I played a show, double show. Two of my bands played one bill.
2 of them?
A day, or maybe the day after I got my wisdom teeth pulled. There's photographic evidence. I looked real bad. But I pulled up my text to ask him what his predictions were, and it said, Haas has notifications silenced.
He always does.
Well, so what I wanted to ask, the reason why I bring all this up is because I said, hey, man, send me your predictions. And he didn't answer me. But as far as I knew, he didn't know that I asked him because there's no notifications. And so then there's the option to notify anyway. I wanted to know.
Wait, really? Hold on. I'm trying to do it now.
I sat on it, and it was like, I was thinking like, I don't want to bother him. The guy's not feeling well.
What's he got going on?
Well, so Lauren came down for putting the kids down, and I was like, hey, so what do you think? Haas, it's been a few days, He's got his notifications silenced, and I need to know his predictions. Do you think I should notify anyway? And what do you think that does? Like, does it like... Yeah, that's what I just did. Okay. You could do that.
Notify.
Yeah, so I don't know, what is it? Does it just ding? Does it just put a little number up on his text?
Him, but he's got it. When did you text him?
It was like at 9:25 or right before we started.
Oh, yeah. So I texted him at 8:47. Okay, it says he read it at 9:10 and didn't respond. All right. I see you,
Okay.
Haas, you idiot.
Well, so anyway, based on Lauren called him a baby. And so I was like, fine, I'm doing it. And I said, notify anyway. And then, he sent me his predictions, so I have them.
I got to figure out how to do that.
You just hit a button. You just say notify anyway. There's no figuring out.
Okay, Google. Notify
everybody
anyway.
text Haas.
All right, you can cut all this. Let's get into our... I guess this is where you put in the thing where I already say that. All right, let's talk about D's.
I don't know. I thought I was.
You got to think about that.
I'm already sweating.
Man, I don't even know.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
My tongue is sweating.
I'm not good at doing things.
You're dumb.
All right, there was a very long pause before we.
Can we have a redo?
Yeah, I don't
we can't
like
have a
this at all.
redo. You know why we can't have a redo, Trey? You know why we can't have a redo?
Morton. Yeah,
because of you. It's your fault.
I had nothing.
It's your
nothing
fault.
to do with this.
Your
rules mean that we now have 4 people with the same score.
Well, actually, let's check out what Andrew Wiebe has to say about the rules. Let's see here. He says, justice is served.
It says if you pick
that's what I'm saying. Justice is
you
served.
You can do whatever you want.
Stop being a gamification provocateur.
Quit watching Game of Thrones.
This way.
Is Mort paying you off for this? Is that what it is?
Paying?
I'm doing something off.
I know. Mr. Emhoff? Is that what's happening?
Good old Jacob.
Is he paying you off, or is it some other thing?
Are you imming you off? All right. Let's go down the list here. I'm glad to have a different score than the rest of you.
It's bananas.
Ben says 3-2 crew. My goals only been this far. You know, I think Mort does the best Haas impression.
Yeah, 100%.
Hashtag wisdom-ast. Wisdom-ast.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Put a bleep in there
dumbass
if you want.
teeth.
Okay. Let's just keep moving because there's almost a consensus. Mort, you said, let's see, you are crew 3, Herons 2. Sounds familiar.
This
Anything
sounds
to
like
add?
we have a lot of that.
Trey says 3-2. And Haas says 3-2 crew.
This is... Yeah.
I said 2-2.
Womp, womp,
Womp,
womp.
womp. Don't ever come back, Mars. We'll see.
Oh, crap. I didn't factor you going to the game into it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
Crap.
I'm attending just to ruin the whole Christmas.
Dang it. I think it's probably gonna be 2-1. I should have switched, but I was like, yeah, I don't know.
It's too late. It
They
doesn't
score
matter.
a lot of goals.
I mean, at this point, these predictions are, again, we talked about it last week. You just don't want to be last. So it sounds like
I'm so close to being last.
This game is going to be a complete wash.
You mean like in being last, you're close to being last, and you are correct.
Yeah, so close.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very close. Okay, let's jump to the Philly game. I think we played Philly a lot this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We played them. Were they? Man, is it at home or away?
Home.
It is at home.
At home. So we played them. Oh, this game got rescheduled because of
because we won everything.
We've been playing this team a lot lately.
Right. We played them in Leagues Cup, right?
We played them like 4 times in 2 days.
Yeah. And we're playing them again at home. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready to do your predictions for that game?
You're dumb.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the top. And by the top, I mean last place. Ben says 3-1 crew. Please, God, I want to win.
Please, God.
Anything to add to that?
No, I just, please, God, I want to win.
Okay. All right. Mort, you said 1-0. Scoreline not oft represented by this team, but
You know, this is because we don't know what happens on Wednesday.
that's right.
So I think it's going to be a tight game. And even if things don't go in our way on Wednesday, I think it's still going to be a tight game.
Yeah, we didn't mention that they play Orlando.
They play
midweek, and that's going to
Orlando.
be a big game.
But even with the loss, they're still in it.
Yeah.
So they're going to be going for it. But the question is, what are we looking like? But even so, we show up with crew 2, we're still going to win 1-0.
Nice. I like it.
Okay. Trey says 1-0 Jackson. Assume that's you think that
Emhoff?
AZ is going to score and then Emhoff.
Yeah.
We signed him to a one-time contract, and he's going to score a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Then to become president of the United States.
First gentleman. Haas said 2-0 crew. Nothing else. He must be he's usually just so verbose,
He's got a lot to say.
Yeah, he's been really quiet tonight.
He's very quiet. I said what did I say? 3-0 crew. It's curtains for you, Andre Blake.
Andrew
Blake.
Did I say?
You said Andrew Blake.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I typed Andrew, but I said Andre. Did I not?
No, you said it correct.
Is there an auto correct on this chat? There's no way there could be.
Thought he was already dead. No.
Okay. 3-0 crew. It's curtains for you. All right, guys. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna go to Wolf's Ridge.
Yeah, why not?
And then we're gonna go to the game.
Yeah, why not? Well, we don't want to do
Let's
that.
go to Jeff.
Of course, we're gonna go to the game. I've only been to LDC one other time.
Yep.
The
opener.
inaugural where they broke the cash registers and we all got free beer for like 24 minutes.
That was the best. Yeah. Hopefully that happens again.
If it does, I'll come every week.
I didn't even get to my seats that game.
You'll come every week?
That will make me come every week.
Yeah. Andrew Blake.
Trey. On the holiday?
Especially on the holiday.
Every day.
Usually only on the holiday, come to think about it.
It's 2 for 1 and it's the holiday special.
Oh, give the man a hand.
Yeah, and then we're gonna shut down the Westerville suburban
classics.
Right?
Yeah,
it's like
right next to the Panera and the Play-It-Again Sports.
All right.
Panera
do they have Jello shots
anymore.
there? Do they have Jello
Shut
shots?
it down.
I think they only have Jello.
That's a Westerville staple.
It's only Jello shots.
It's Jello shots and Jello without the alcohol. It's like the two things they serve.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, only bar open after midnight on the Wednesday.
Okay. And for the run club, we'll see. We might try and run on Thursday morning. It depends on the result. We could win and it couldn't happen, or it could happen. We could lose and it could happen, or it couldn't happen. We don't know.
Gotta sweat that Jello out.
I don't have my run club kit yet. It has not yet arrived, but
it's the mediums they're missing.
Yeah, I ordered 2 extra larges and they still haven't come in yet. They're selling like hotcakes. Did I say hotcakes twice this episode?
You just said it for the second time.
Sick.
He said it really 3 times.
He's like,
I want pancakes. Let me talk about that. When is International Pancake Day?
Well, so on Wednesday, I'm going to go to the crew. Does that count?
Go
crew! What time is it?
It's good time. Where's the garlic bread? I love you.
Thanks, everyone, for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off-season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go crew!
All right, we're back.
I'm sorry, those off.
It's not that kind of podcast. Not on podcast day, guys. Not on podcast day.